Nirmati ma'am, we can start.
Yes. Good evening, teachers. Good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible and clear to all of you. So, welcome to the session. So, this is Niraimati, academic mentor from Tekie, and today we are going to see the webinar about the topic Java. So, let me share my screen and let's start with the teachers. And thank you so much for joining in. So, hope my screen is visible to all of you. Can I get a yes in the chat? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the reply. All right, so let's begin, teachers. So let's start with the content. So these are the things that we are going to see today. So first is introduction to programming, then introduction to Java, and then creating projects using Java, and then we are going to learn about the basics of Java. Okay, let's start. So first of all, introduction to programming. So, what is basically a programming? As you all know, it is a set of instructions that we give to the computer to perform a specific task. So, what are these instructions that we are giving? So, if you want, if you want your computer to perform an addition with two numbers, we will give the instructions. How this instruction should be given to a computer? Using the computer languages. Now, there are a lot of computer languages. Let us see the types. What are the types that we do have? So, there are two types of programming languages, teachers. One is the high level language, the other one is the low level language. Now, what is this high level language? It is a user friend where a common person can understand that particular language. It is easy to understand and learn. So, for example, we have Java, C, C++, Python, HTML. So, this is the high level language that we can, as a programmer, we can understand. And what is a low level language? It is a machine language formed using zeros and ones. Only the computer can understand the zeros and ones, and we can call it as a binary languages. But teachers, we are giving instructions in the high level language, but it is getting converted into the machine friendly language. So, how it is happening? That is using a compiler. Now, what is a compiler? What is a compiler basically? It is a computer program which converts high level instructions into a machine language. So that is the functioning of a compiler. So, like if we go into any foreign countries like China, we don't understand the Chinese language, right? I know English. That person know Chinese in the sense I need a translator in between who could understand both the languages, who could understand both English and Chinese. So that translator is a person who will do both the process. Likewise, here in Java, we have a compiler which is a computer program converts the high level instructions into the machine language. That is the working process of a compiler. So now this is the basics and of programming. So programming is nothing but a set of instructions that we give to a computer in order to perform a specific task. And we give the instructions in high level language, in Java, in Python, whatever. And that gets converted into a machine friendly language. And that task will be done by a compiler. So that is the basic. Now we are going to see introduction to Java. So there we are going to see why we are going to need Java, why we need to learn Java, and how the Java program will be executed. And a very important concept of Java, which is object-oriented programming. First, a Java is a versatile and widely used high-level object-oriented programming language. It was developed by James Gosling. So, and where we use Java basically. So it is a very old language. So we are using Java to create so many things. So Java used to create websites. It is used in web development, and then it is used for creating interesting games. And then we use Java for apps development, and also we use Java in scientific research. So these are the different applications of Java. And why we need to learn Java actually. As you can see here, write once and run anywhere. That is the first and foremost part of Java, advantage of Java, which means platform independent. You can write a code on a Java server, Java editor, or even you can type the code on a notepad and execute it on the Java server, JVM. So that is the first and foremost point of Java, why we need to learn Java. And it is a beginner friendly and competitive due to strong memory management. Java has a wide memory management, so we are using Java, and it is a beginner friendly language. It takes less execution time when compared with other programming languages. The execution time of Java is very less. And then it is secure and dynamic. It's very secure when compared with the other languages, and it is widely used globally across various sectors. Now let us understand the execution of Java. So Java execution is a two-step conversion. Already I said whatever we type, the instructions that we type in the high-level language gets converted into the machine-friendly language, and then it is executed. So this is the first thing. Source code is nothing but the code or the instruction that we type in Java. Using this compiler, it is getting converted into the bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but the binary language, zeros and ones. And then this bytecode is executed by a component called as Java Virtual Machine, JVM, which produces the final output. So I said now platform independent. So JVM is a platform independent interpreter. So in Java, this is how the execution happens. So till here, any doubts, if you have, you can put it in the chat box, teachers. Hi, ma'am. Good evening. Is it clear till here, teachers? Can I get a yes in the chat? All right, let us move ahead. So when it comes to this object-oriented programming paradigm, OOPS, that is widely used in Java and so many other programming languages. Object OOPS concept is used in different languages actually. So you already know about this building blocks, Lego blocks and everything where we will be creating the structure. Like, so that is the basic section. So you have a different types of blocks called as objects. So we can compare it with like things like objects like cars, animals, or houses. So each block, see here, you can see the blocks are coming over here. It has different shapes. All the things are not of same shape, right? Everything has a different shape. So all these objects or blocks, it has its own shape that we call it as attributes, and it can do a specific actions which are called as methods. For example, if you consider a car company, a car will be designed. That will be a model car which will be designed. And based on that car, it will be you can create different n number of cars. 1,000 cars also you can create, but every car will have its unique feature. If we create one car in black color, the other car will be in blue color. This colors and the shape of the car, it is called as the attributes. And what is the function of a car, teachers? You can start a car, you can stop a car, you can reverse, you can, like, these are the functions of a car. So that we call it as methods. So this is the basic concept of a object-oriented program. Now let us understand the class. So what is the object-oriented programming? It is nothing but the concept of class and object. It is a concept of class and object. See in the picture, this is the car class. And this particular car class, we have different attributes and methods. What are the attributes? Like the make of a car, the model, and the year of that particular make. That is your attribute. And method, start and stop. And using this one class, we can create n number of objects. We can create n number of objects. And can you see everything has its own attribute? Attribute is nothing but it has a different color. It has a different, the model is different, shape is different, size will be different, seating capacity will be different. These are the attributes. And methods obviously start, stop, everything. Whatever function using that card that we perform, that is the attribute, that is the methods. So what is a class? Basically, how will you define a class? It is a blueprint or template for creating objects. So that is the class. It is a blueprint or template for creating objects. This is it. And it defines the structure and behavior of the object. For example, if you have one set of behaviors, your children will replicate the behavior of yours, correct? So like that, you are a class. Consider you are a class, your children are the objects of you, of the parent class. So this you can take it as an example. Then in Java, classes are used to create the objects by defining their attributes and methods. Again, as a parent, you are creating the objects, your child, which replicates your behavior, your activities. So that is attributes and methods. If you are a good swimmer, your child will also be interested in learning swimming. If you are a good teacher, your child also will be excelling in that teaching part. So like that, these are the attributes and methods which we can compare. So here that the same example which I have mentioned. Let's move ahead. Then objects. So object is an instance of a Java class, meaning a copy of a specific class in simple. So these are the objects. And see the object, different objects that we have created using this class, it has different methods and different attributes. See, it is an Indian model. It has the model is taxi made in the year of 2010 and the functions. So what is an object? An object is an instance of a Java class, meaning it's a copy of a specific class. And it contains data and methods, attributes and functions that operate on that data. So in simple, we can define objects as the instance of a class. So these are the basic features. So what is a class? It is a blueprint or a template using which you can create an object with different methods and attributes. An object is an instance of a class or a copy of a class which replicates the attributes and methods, and it also has its own attribute and own. So teachers, any questions till here? Till here, is it clear, teachers? Is it clear? Can I get a yes in chat quick, yes in the chat box? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the messages, teacher. Thank you so much. So let us go ahead with the project now. So what is the project that we are going to create using Java? Let us see that. So basically, these are the chapters that we are covering from grade 7 and grade 8 books. So Java is there for grade 7 and grade 8. So introduction to Java and fundamentals of Java. These are the topics that we are covering. So what is the project that we are going to create? We are going to create a Java program with class person. So we are going to create a person and we are going to get few of the details about that particular person. As you can see the output, we are going to calculate the birth year of the student and total marks in an examination and which group he is going to take. These are the basic details that we are going to create, using which we are going to learn about the basic concepts in Java. That's what we are going to. So these are the basics that we are going to learn, teachers. Tokens in Java, structure of a Java program, and we are going to learn about the syntax, and we are going to learn about the data types, variables, and operators. So all these are basic concepts which we are going to learn and we are going to implement in the project. So first, let us learn about the tokens in Java. So what is the meaning of a token? Token is the smallest element of a Java program, like an atom. Atom is a very small unit of matter. And we're going to learn about the token, which is the smallest element of a Java program. So, and what are the tokens that we have? We have identifiers, keywords, constants, and punctuators. So these are the basic concepts or tokens. So these are the basic building blocks which we can put together to create a Java program. So first we are going to see the identifier. So as you can see this particular code on the left hand side. See here, this is the basic Java code where you can see identifier is a name assigned to the components of the program. So you will be identified by your name and your designation. So your ID card is like a identifier which helps everybody to see what is your designation. You are a teacher, you're a coordinator, what is your mentor. So like that, for a Java program, we have the identifier, which is the name assigned to the component of the Java program. So here you can see public class demo. So demo is the class name. Class name is a demo. And then this main, so when we understand the structure of the Java program, you will know these things. Main is the method name. And X is the variable name. So these are the identifiers in a Java program. See, they are used to name classes, methods, and variables. So how you are giving names here? It can be short names also or descriptive names also. So short names like X and Y or descriptive names like age, term, choice, result, name, roll number, etc. Now keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are the reserved words in Java that have a special meaning and can only be used for that purpose. So we cannot use these keywords to name any variable or a keyword cannot be a class name, variable name, or a method name. It is a keyword or the reserved words. Now, what are the keywords? See, public, static, void, class, int, float, char, if, while these are the loops. Actually, for loops, we will use these keywords. And then int, char, float, or the variable names. So these are the specific keywords that we cannot use for the other purpose. It's a reserved words. These are the keywords. Then constant. So what is a constant basically? A constant is a thing that cannot be changed. Throughout the program, it remains the same. We cannot change it. So they are the fixed values that do not change during the execution of the program. And there are two types of constants, teachers. One is the numeric constant and then character constants. So numeric, all the numbers. When I give age is equals to 25, it will not change. If I give roll number equals to 12, that does not change. Like that. And then character means it may be a single character or it may be a word actually. So name is equals to YOLO. So YOLO cannot be changed throughout the program. So that is the constants. Then finally, punctuators or separators. We can call punctuators or separators. So we have these symbols like operators and then the semicolon, comma, dot. All these things are called as symbols which will separate from other tokens like keywords, identifiers, and constants. Basically, these separators help us to identify or classify the other tokens. So these are the tokens in Java. So now we came to the structure of a Java program. We came to the structure of the Java program. So what is a structure? How will you define a structure of a Java program? So we already seen that it is an object-oriented programming language where we create a program using classes and objects. Classes and objects. So a structure of a Java program includes these three things. Main, that is the main thing. First is documentation, then class definition, and then main method. These are the three important parts of a Java program. Documentation statement, class definition statement, and main method. All your program should consist of these things. Let us understand one by one. First, what is documentation statement? A documentation statement is nothing but it is the explanation of a Java program or what you are going to do inside the Java program that you will explain inside a comments. Comments in the Java program. So basically, these comments are ignored by the compiler. Once the compiler checks these symbols, double slash or these things, if it checks, then it will understand it's the comment and it will ignore it. It will not process a comment. Only the instructions of a Java program will be processed by a compiler. So there are three types of comments: single line comment, multi-line comments, and documentation comments. If there is a big project that you want to describe in the starting of that particular project, then you can use this documentation step. So you see here, it starts with a slash, double asterisk, and it ends with a asterisk slash. So this is you can explain it in a descriptive manner. And single line, I'm going to calculate the marks of a student, total marks of a student. So that you can represent using double slash. And then multi-line, using slash asterisk and ends with the asterisk slash. So this is your documentation. You can see. It's a comment, basically in simply comments. Then class definition. So for every Java program, there should be a class. See here, in this particular program, you can see class and then name of the class. Class, name of the class, and a open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket. So this open curly bracket mentioned as a start of a Java program. See? At the end of a line indicates the start of that class and the Java program. So this is, we call it as this statement is called as a class definition, defining a class. Then main method. So every Java program should have a class and a main method for sure. It should have a class and a main method because without main method, we cannot execute a Java program. So main method is the execution or the entry point of a program. So a Java program must have a main method. This main method can be public, static, and void. Now, what is this public, static, void actually? Let's see that. So public means the main method can be called anywhere outside or inside the class. What is this calling? What is this calling basically? We are going to say the Java to execute the code inside the method. That is calling. We are calling main method and saying that you need to execute the instruction inside the method. That is nothing but the calling of a Java program. So that calling you can do anywhere outside or inside the class because we have made the main method as a public. Then static. What is the meaning of this static? If you create n number of objects inside this particular class, actually, welcome class, for all the objects, the main method will be same. For example, if I create the objects for this welcome class as welcome 1, welcome 2, welcome 3. For example, in car 1 is the main class. And from that car 1, I'm creating car 2, car 3, car 4, car 5. For all those 4 cars, the method will be remaining the same. That is the reason we call it as a static. So this is our static part. And then what is the meaning of this void? Void indicates the main method will not return any other things. We have an instruction here, as you all can see, system.out.println hello Java or hello world. It will execute only this instruction inside the Java. It will not execute anything. Void means it's a space. It will not return anything other than the instruction present inside the main method. And main is nothing but it is the name of the method. You can give any name. Instead of main, you can give even chicken, mutton also. That is the name of the method. So this is the basic structure of a Java program. So teachers, now we are coming to the project, but before that, till here, is it clear? Any doubts, any questions? Good evening, Dabas ma'am. Thank you so much. Any questions, teachers? Are till this, is it clear? Tokens and then structure of a Java program. These two things are clear for everybody. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, teacher. Thank you so much. Okay, so now the first step that we are seeing here is create a Java class called person. Create a Java class called person. So we are going to create a Java program with a class name called as person. But before doing that, we need to understand the important concept called as syntax of a Java program. Any programming languages, the concept of syntax plays into the role. In English, if we speak, we need to follow a grammatical rules actually. Grammar. Without grammar, your English will not be proper. Even while writing without grammatical mistakes, you need to create sentence in English. Just like that, for every program, we have a syntax where we need to follow certain syntax. Then only our code will be proper. So rules for the programmers while writing a program is called as syntax, which I suggest now. And syntax of Java defines all the main rules, commands, and constructions to write the program that the Java compiler understands. If there is a error in your program, it will simply throw the error, syntax error. So what are the main syntax rules that we have to follow, teachers? Every Java code has to be written inside a class, and the main method should be defined inside the class. These two are the major rules, and all the commands in Java end with a semicolon. So we are ending a sentence with a full stop in English. Like that, we are going to end our Java program instructions using a semicolon. And Java is a case-sensitive language. It will differentiate between capital and small letters. Accordingly, we need to create the codes. So, all right. So the first thing is that we are going to learn the concept, technical concept is the print command. So generally the print statement, the syntax of the print statement is this system.out.println. Even you can use print. Ln means it should print in a new line. That is the difference. So that is the first statement. So in order to display any information on the output window, you generally use this system.out.println, which is the print command. And what kind of possible errors that we will make while we create our code actually. So we will miss the semicolon. See here, there is no semicolon at the end. So semicolon we will miss. Spelling mistakes can be there. Any punctuation markings or the mistakes that we will make. See here, missing double quotes, missing a semicolon. These things we will. So now we are going to go to the Java editor and we are going to print a statement called my first Java program within the main method. So let's go to the editor. I hope my screen is visible. Editor is visible to everybody. Can someone confirm? Is my editor is visible to everybody? Java editor is visible, teachers? Please confirm. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay. So first we need to create a class called person. I'm going to create this public. See, when I write the keyword always turns into like it will show a unique color or in a different color. So public class, name of the class is person, and we need to open up curly brackets. So this is how we are defining a class definition statement. Public class, these two are the keywords, and person is the name of the class with a open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket. Now my Java program has a class. Now I need to have a method. Inside this class, I need to give a method. What is our method structure? Public, static, void, void, link. After this, inside the bracket, we are going to type string args. Now, what is this string args, which I didn't mention, is this string args is a class. It is a separate class where we can pass the arguments during the runtime. This we will see later on. So, this is the format. Public, static, void main. Inside the brackets, we're going to mention string args. And now, this is the main method. Inside the main method, we need to give the instructions. Now I'm going to print my first Java program. And what is the format of the print statement? System.out.println within the round brackets, within the double quotes, we need to type the whatever you want to type. My first Java program. And you need to end it with a semicolon. This is our first. So let's execute it. This is our first output. Okay. So this is our first part. Let's move ahead. Let's see what else we have. So this we have done. So the next concept that we are going to learn about is the data types. In simple, data type is nothing but the type of data that we are going to store inside the memory location. So for example, if I store my name, that is a string data. And if I store my age, that is a number. Like that, the type of data that you are going to store in a memory location. See here, for example, string, integer, character, etc. See, these are the different data types of Java teachers, which we have. We have byte, the size, and what is the number that is going to store? It is going to store the whole numbers. And short, it is 2 bytes. Then we have integer, 4 bytes. This is the like size of the data that it will store. Then we have long, float, double, boolean for true or false, and then character. So apart from character, we have a data type called string. We have a separate class of strings in Java. So string, which will store the words, whatever you specify inside the double quotes, that belongs to the string data type. So these are the different data types that we have in Java. So next concept is variables. See, I have mentioned like we need to store the data. Like if I want to store the name, I need to have a variable or a container in the memory location in order to hold that data. So I have to create a variable or a container inside which I'm going to store the data. So it is like a simple box for storing the information. And for that box, you're going to give a label. You're going to give a name. For example, name. I'm creating a box with a name, with a label name. And I'm going to put my name inside that box. That is the concept of variables. Now, declaring a variable. What is the meaning of declaring a variable means? You are creating that variable. That's all. See, what is the syntax? Data type and variable name. So data type and variable name. For example, here you can see Bob. Name is equals to Bob. So name is the name is the variable name. Its data type is string. And if I store true, then Boolean is the data type. So for example, int age. This is we are declaring the variable like this. And then we will initialize the value. Int age equals to 25. That is how we will initialize the value. See, this is your variable initialization. We are declaring a variable and storing a value inside that variable. That is how a variable is initialized. When we speak about the variable teachers, when we speak about the variable, we have something called as scope of a variable. A scope is nothing but the life of a variable, where its like lifetime starts and where its lifetime ends. Let me explain in the editor. So here, if I declare like this, int age equals to 2, and I'm going to print it, system.out.println. So I'm going to print age. Let's put it with a semicolon. Now this variable int age equals to 2, I'm creating inside this particular main method. So this variable is called as a local variable. That is the scope. What is the scope of this local variable? Its lifetime ends within this main method itself. The lifetime of this variable ends within this main method. So that we call it as a local variable. It will get printed. So let me execute it. See, executing. So this variable, if I declare a variable inside a main method, that is called as a local variable. So I'm just removing it. So I want to declare a variable outside the main method. I'm declaring like this, int age equals to 23. Now this variable is called as a instance variable. Instance variable, the meaning is it is an object of this class. The variable that we declare outside the main method and inside the class is called as an instance variable. So now how this will be executed? Can I execute it like this directly? So let me scroll down. Let's try to execute. So if I declare an instance, see here, non-static variable cannot be conformed. It is showing an error. So in order to execute this instance variable, then we need to create an object. We already learned about the classes and objects. Object is nothing but an instance of a class. So creating an object instance is nothing but very simple. So how to do that? Refer the class name person and give the name for the object. So I'm going to give obj. That is the object name. This can be anything. Equals to new is a keyword and you are going to give the class. That's all. How to create an object? Name of the class, name of the object, which is equals to new keyword. New is a keyword for that particular class. For the class, we are creating an object. So what we can do, in order to call this variable or in order to execute this variable, we are just going to add one thing, which is object name, obj dot h. That's it. So let's run and check whether it is coming or not. See, it's executed. So what we are doing, we are creating an instance for that class and we are referring you can refer any variable using that name of the object. This is the instance variable. Clear, teachers? Still here? Any questions? Any doubts? Local variable should be created inside the main method, and instance variable can be created outside the main method but inside the class. Are you all clear till here? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, teachers. Thank you so much. Global variable, Nitasha Chandal. Ma'am, we don't have exactly a global variable in Java. We have instance variable, but it's not a global variable. Global means it should be declared outside the class actually, so that any class from anywhere you can access it. We don't have an explicit global variable in Java. So you have to call it as an instance variable. Hope that is clear, ma'am. Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, the final type of variable, teachers, that we are going to use is static variable. Static int num equals to some 20. So, static variable, what is the meaning of that static? Oh, sorry. Static means this particular variable that you are creating, the memory location will be created only once. You cannot replace its value or you cannot change its location. That is the meaning of a static variable. Once this class is loaded into the compiler, only once the memory location will be created. That is the reason we call it as a static variable. But one advantage for static variable is, for instance variable, we need to create an object. But for the static variable, it's not needed. You can directly call it. Because our method is also static, correct? So we can directly call that. So I can give it as num. That's it. Since my method is also static, what is the meaning of static? It should be the method will be same for all the objects. Similarly, if a variable is a static variable, the memory location that we create for the variable will be created only once. We cannot change the value or we cannot create once again the variable's memory location. So that is static. Let's see, let's execute and check whether it is working or not. See, since my method is also a static method, we can directly call this variable inside our main method. So these are the types of variable, scope of a variable. Local variable, instance variable, and static variable. So let's move ahead. Let's see what is the next that we have in our project. So local, instance, and static. So a variable that is created within a method is called as local variable. It will be destroyed once the control comes out of the main method. Instance variable created inside the class but outside the main body, main method. It cannot be accessed directly. We need to create a instance or the object to access it. Static variables are created only once and shared among all the objects. Even memory allocation happens only once when the class is loaded into the memory. So these are our variables. Okay, this is next thing, which is a very interesting thing, rules for naming a variable. So basically, when we create a variable name like name, number, etc., we have to follow in certain rules. So first rule is name can contain only letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. So let us see that. See, these are the correct variable name. It can have characters, it can have underscore, it can have a number, but number should be after the character or after the underscore. And you can also use a dollar sign. In other languages, we use only underscore, but in Java, we have this special rule of using dollar symbol also. So these are the rules, like you can use these things to create, but which are the wrong methods. You cannot use any other special symbols. You cannot start a variable name with a number, and you should not leave a space between the variables, and you cannot use special symbols and like this after the or in between the variable. These are the wrong ways. And there is one more rule which is called as a camel casing. This we call it as a camel casing. The first letter can be in capital. See, name of the company, NS, O, T, C. Every first character can be in the form of capital, except the first word. First word will be in lowercase. From second, say, consecutive words, first letter can be in. So these are the different rules for naming your variables. Okay, now the next step of our project is teachers. We are going to create the variable for name, age, and address for the person. So let's quickly do it. So I'm going to delete this. Done. So very simple, how to create the variable, data type of the variable. So for name, it's string. Name equals to, let's create a name called Rahul. And then age. For age, the data type is int. Variable name is age. I'm going to create it as 12. And then address. So address is again string. Address equals to, let's give it as del. So now we've created the variables. Let's go to the next step. So if you want to print, you can do that also, teachers. So the next thing we are going to see about are operators. So finally, we came to the operators part. So we have different like operators in Java. So let us learn what is an operator. So an operator, this is your operator, which is a symbol to perform different operations on variables. And operand are nothing but the values or the variables that you are going to use for the calculation or store the values. That is an operand. So this is about the operators. So then what are the types of operators we have, teachers? We have unary operator, which help us to perform increment or decrement operations. And then arithmetic operators. And then comparison to compare two values. We can also call it as relational operators. And then finally, we have a logical operators in order to check two conditions. So unary means we can perform increment and decrement, and then arithmetic, and then comparison and logic. So let's see in the editor. First, let us see the unary operator. For example, if I give like this, let's give int. Okay, already I have a value called age. So I'm going to give like this, system.out.println age. I'm going to give plus age. So what will be the output here? What will be the output here? Anybody? What will be the output here, teachers? Can anyone guess? I have given plus age. 13. Yes, Kiran ma'am, that's absolutely correct. So it will be providing the output but after incrementing the value of the age. Correct, ma'am. Thank you so much. So let's run it. Right, that's perfectly correct. Similarly, if I give minus minus, it will print 11. So this is pre-incrementing. Like before printing the like value of the variable, we are incrementing and printing it. Similarly, post-incrementing will be there. So if I give age plus plus, if I give it like this, it will print only 12. Why? Because it will print the variable and then it will do the increment. So that is post-incrementing actually. So let's print and check. It should give the answer of 12. Let's see that. It is printing 12. So this is pre-incrementing and post-incrementing, which we call it as a unary operators. This is first. And then we have arithmetic operators. Let's go back. Let's come to the slideshow. See, this is unary operators that we have seen. So increment and decrement. And these are the examples of arithmetic operators. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Basically, modulus will give the remainder of two numbers. So these are the simple operations. So we will do that in the project. for the project. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then modulus. Modulus will basically give us the remainder of two numbers. Now, while doing the arithmetic operations, teachers, let's come back. So if I'm doing like this, let's give one more, let's give two variables, int a equals to 23. Let me give it here at the end. Int a equals to 2. So you can calculate all the arithmetic operations, system dot out of println. Let's try with modulus. Other things, it's very simple. Let me give it as 20. So modulus, a modulus percentage of b. Let's check the output. So it will give us the remainder. Let me execute. So 20 by 3. So the remainder will be 2. So that is the modulus. And if I have something like this, system dot out dot println. So 3 plus 23 minus 2 divided by 3. So if I have a equation or if I have a operators aligned with this particular statement of this particular thing, how the Java will execute? Can anybody say how it will prioritize or how it will execute? Any idea, teachers? How it will execute? I have a very big equation actually. Multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, how it will execute. Multiply, divide. Yes, Natasha ma'am. Thank you. Yes, Kiran ma'am. Bed math tool. Yes, perfectly correct. Add and sub. Yes, Natasha ma'am. Okay, first multiply and divide and then add and sub. Perfect, Natasha ma'am. That's perfect. In short, as Kiran ma'am mentioned, that's perfectly correct, teacher. Thank you so much. Bed math tool. It follows a bed math tool. What is bed math? Bracket, exponent, multiplication, sorry, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. That is BEDMAS. Brackets, exponent, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. As both of the teachers said, it will first calculate multiplication or division. So because division and multiplication have a same priority, so it can calculate division or multiplication, and then addition and subtraction will have a same priority. It will calculate and it will provide us the final answer. Let's execute and check. What will be the answer? So every language has, it will follow the BEDMAS tool to calculate the bigger equation. So this is our arithmetic operator and BEDMAS. So let's move ahead. So this is the BEDMAS tool, brackets, exponent, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So now we need to calculate the birth year of the person. And then we are going to calculate the Java program to find the total marks of the subject. So these two things we are going to do using this arithmetic operators only. So let's proceed quickly. So I'm going to remove these things. So in order to calculate the birth year, we have to just minus this age with the current year actually. So I'm going to give a variable in current year equals to 2025. And I'm going to subtract it. So int, we're going to find the birth year. So int birth year equals to current year minus age. And let's print it also. System dot out dot println birth year. Okay. And a semicolon. So let's run the code, teachers. So it's 2013. That is the birth year of this particular student. Okay. Let's create the marks. for some subjects. So let me create int math equals to 90. So it needs to calculate the total marks of 5 subjects. So let's give the marks. Let's create it as 100. And then let's have the marks for science, 80. Then social, let's have some 90. And then let's create some regional subject. Let's have it as 8. So how to calculate the total marks? Again, we need to create a variable total marks or total simply. We need to add all these marks, maths plus computer plus science plus social plus regional subject. Now let's print this total also. System dot dot total. So till here, let's run it. Let's check. So I have created just 5 marks and I have given the marks and I have added it. Let's execute it. So the marks is 4 points. So we have seen till here arithmetic operators. Next, we are going to see the relational operators features. I'll explain it here itself. Relational operators are nothing but we need to compare the values and the output will be in the form of true or false. For example, if I compare like this, let's copy and paste this. So I'm going to compare two values like here. So 5 double equal to 5. So if I execute it, it will show true or false. So 5 is equals to 5 only, so it should be true. So what are the relational operators that we have? Double equals to, not equals to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal. These are the different comparison operators or relational operators that we have. So double equal to will compare both sides whether it is equal or not. Not equal to whether left side and right side should be not, it should not be equal. And then less than, greater than. So these are the logical operators. Now here we are going to compare the values of the subject that we have. Like for example, math and science, I'm going to compare it with social and computers. So whether he is going to choose the first group or second group. For example, the respective student is going to choose the first group. Means science and math. If science and math to be chosen, the marks of the total marks of math and science should be greater than computer and social. So that's how I'm going to compare. Let's see the answer. So I'm going to create a variable as Boolean and variable name as subject comparison equals to, I'm going to total it. So maths plus science should be greater than social plus compute. So let's print it. Student choosing first group S. Last, let's execute that. Subject comparison. So let's see that. I'm just adding those two things and I'm executing it. Let's see. What is the output? First group is false because the value of math, the total of math plus science is lesser than actually social plus computer. I think I have given a, see here. Math and science is just 9 plus 8, 170, but computer plus social is 19. So that is the reason it is coming as like that. Okay. So the last type of operator that we have is logical operators. Means in logical operators, what are the types we have is AND operator, which we will represent using double ampersand symbol, and then OR operator, which will represent using this this line of symbol, and then the final part of operator is not, which we will represent using the exclamatory mark. So what is this AND operator? AND means the condition on both sides should be true. Then only the value will be true. The answer will be true. Otherwise, the answer will be false. Or the meaning of or is if any one side, if it is true, then the answer will be true. Otherwise, the condition will be false. Not means if the condition is true, answer will be false. Or if the condition is false, the answer will be true. Means it will reverse the thing. It will reverse the answer. That is the not operator. I repeat, AND operator, both sides the condition should be true, then only the answer will be true. Otherwise, it will be false. For OR operator, if any one side it is true, then the answer will be true. Not operator, if the condition is true, answer will be false. If the condition is false, answer will be true. So here in our project, what we are going to do, we are going to compare the values of the result, like final marks. If total marks is between 450 to 500, then the student will belong to the first class. So like that, we are going to compare the value. Okay. So again, here we need a Boolean result. Let's create a variable as result. So total greater than 450. Ampersand. Total less than 500. This is the condition that we are going to compare. Let me put inside the bracket. And here I'm going to put a semicolon. So if the marks is between 450 to 500, then the student belongs to the first class. So here, like, I think its total is 440, right? I think he's not a first class. Let's see that. System dot out dot println student belong to first class is plus research. That's it. Now let's execute this. Okay, I left T here. See, this is the syntax error that you can see. I left the T. So let's execute it once again. This, okay. Yes, also. System dot out dot println. Let me check once again. Okay, I hope now it is correct. Let's see that. Okay. So both are false because its marks are greater than for maths and science, and the first class is also, it's also. So see here, both the conditions should be true. He should fall under the category, like the marks should be greater than 450 and it should be less than 500. Both sides it should be true. So then that will be the answer. So this is your logical operators. And this is our first project. And with this, your phase 1 concepts are done. So teachers, still here, any questions? Do we have any doubts? Any questions? If you have, you can just put it in the chat. Tabasam ma'am, can you explain PEMDAS? Yes, ma'am, sure. See, PEMDAS is nothing but as I mentioned here. Let me execute it also. Let me put it in the comment. So PEMDAS means the expansion of PEMDAS is PEMDAS or BEMDAS, whatever it is. It's brackets or parentheses, and then exponent, and then multiplication, then divide, then add, then subtract, which means if we have a big equation to calculate, if there is a bigger equation to solve, the programming language or the compiler will solve in this order only. Means it will prioritize based on this order. If I have like this, 6 plus 2 Let me give it you. 6 plus 2. Inside the brackets, I'm giving. And after this, I'm giving an multiplication. And then I'm dividing it by 2. If I have an equation like this, what is the based on priority? First, the brackets or the priority? Whatever inside it, first that will be solved, which means 6 plus 2 is 8. And then it will be multiplied 8 into 4, or it can also divide because multiplication and division have a same priority. So there is a possibility the compiler can consider the multiplication first or the division first. So 6 plus 2, 8. 8 into 4 is 8 fours are 32. 32 divided by 2. So that is the answer. So final answer will be. So in that way, it will calculate and the final output will be presented. That is PEMDAS or BEMDAS. So I hope, ma'am, it is clear to you. Tabassum ma'am, is it clear? Okay, okay. So teachers, let's quickly have a few quick questions. So I want all of you to kindly answer it in the chat. So let's quickly have it. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So which of the following is not a type of a variable? Teachers, please answer it in the chat. Which of the type is not a variable? Please answer it in the chat, teachers. Local, instance, void, and static. Okay, answer C, C, C. Thank you. Thank you so much. Void is not a type of a variable, teachers. Thank you so much. And what does JVM stands for? Java Virtual Method, Java Virtual Machine, Variable Machine, Vendor Machine. This is the correct answer, teachers. Okay, Java Virtual Machine. Very good, very good. Perfect, perfect, teachers. That's correct. Java Virtual Machine. Thank you, teachers. Let's move ahead. Okay, which of the following is not a features of Java? Platform independence, object-oriented, and pointers. Platform independent, object-oriented, pointer. C, 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 C. Okay, A. Ma'am said A. No issues. Ma'am, it's pointers. Pointers are not a feature of Java. Thank you. Thank you so much, teacher. That's very well done. Let's have the next question. Which of the following is a valid way to declare a variable in Java? Declaring a variable in Java. Teachers, quickly mention your answers in the chat. So which is the correct answer? Okay, I'm getting the answers. Okay, answer is B. Int x is equals to 10. That's perfectly correct, teachers. Very good. Wonderful, wonderful, teachers. Let's move ahead. Okay, which of the following is the relational operator in Java, teachers? Which of the following is the correct relational operator in Java? Relational operators. Okay, I'm getting the answers. It's C, 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 everything. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Very good. Now, what will be the output of the following code, teachers? See it carefully. What will be the output of the following code? What will be the output of the following code? I can see answer A. Okay, A. That's perfect. It's false because 2 greater than 2 is also false and 3 double equals to 4 is also false. So the answer is false. Perfect. Thank you so much, teacher. Thank you so much for the wonderful participation. So that's it from my end. So let's see some other concepts and advanced concepts in our next session. And thank you so much. Kindly fill in the feedback form. Thank you so much for the participation, teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll end the session.